Hey guys, this is Code Theorem again, showing you guys part 2 on how to use HTTP service in Roblox Lua. I know it's been a while since I posted the part 1 to this, and guys, to be honest, I really did plan on posting parts 2 and the upcoming part 3 all in consecutive episodes, like days, sorry, not episodes, obviously consecutive episodes, but all in consecutive days. So I would post episode or part 1 on one day, and then part 2 and 3 the following 2 days. But then something really tragic happened. My pet dog was diagnosed with cancer, and so for the next few days, all the way up to yesterday, I was dealing with that, and I didn't have the drive or anything to make the video. I couldn't do it knowing that I was taking away the little bit of time I had left with the my old dog, and yesterday he passed. So spent some time grieving, of course, but I finally got back to making this video. So I apologize for all the time in between. I know this is the most requested thing like ever from you guys for me to teach, and then when I finally did it, it's like, he's doing it, and then why he just showed us how to put it in, he didn't show us how to use it. What's wrong? Why he stopped? I'm sorry, I'm going to get back to it. I couldn't. I couldn't. Alright. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back to working on this. So we've already inserted HTTP service and we've checked off HTTP enabled. Now we're going to go to server script service and we're going to insert a script. Let me blow this up a little bit for you guys. Alright, so here is a little bit on how HTTP service works. First we're going to make a variable called local HTTP equals game.http service. Okay? And now, what is HTTP service? What can it do? I think I covered this a little bit last time in the last part of this series. But HTTP is just a way to use the protocol that the internet uses so that you can access other websites. There are a few restrictions to this, such as you can't directly poll to Roblox. You can't use the HTTP service for any of Roblox's websites directly. You could set up your own website, or there's other websites that do it, that you could send requests to another website that then sends requests to Roblox. It gets data from Roblox, and then it takes parts of that data and sends it back to you. You could do that. It's quite the workaround. I have programmed it myself with Code Theorem to work that way. It's just not exactly optimal per se, but Roblox is trying to keep hackers out and kind of keep them down. Granted, there's always workarounds, but they're doing their best, and I'm happy about it. So what are we going to do if we can't post to Roblox? What am I going to show you guys how to do? I'm over here looking at my second screen trying to get to the link I need here. There we go. Alright. All I think we should probably do there's not a lot I can show you guys per se that's really going to work, unless I also teach you guys how to write your own server and everything in C# or Java or PHP or something, which I could do. I know all of that, but that's not the point to this series, okay guys? So if you want to learn that, I'll be posting videos on how to do that in all 3 of the languages I just mentioned. Maybe not Java, because that's kind of dying out for that sort of thing, but I will post videos on how to do that stuff on my main channel, Code Theorem, in the coming weeks. But for now, let's keep it simple, alright? So here is my YouTube channel. I'm logged in. You guys can see all the people I'm subscribed to and everything. I don't care if you do. I subscribe to good people anyway. Alright. So here you go. We're just going to take this link and we're gonna spit out whatever the heck comes back. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to do local spit, no, saliva. We'll call it saliva because we're spitting it out. Yes, so not disgusting, right? Equals HTTP, and now here's where I'm going to show you guys everything HTTP service can do and kind of go over it a little bit with you. There it is. Okay, so from basically here to here, JSON decode, JSON encode, URL encode. Those are three things that are built in with the HTTP service, and then so are GetAsync and PostAsync. Okay, so I'm going to go over just GetAsync and PostAsync, and then a little bit of JSON encode and a little bit maybe of JSON decode, and maybe I'll cover URL encode in the next episode. Not too sure. It's not very useful, or at least I haven't found a use for it yet, but maybe we'll do that. Here's the one we're going to use for right now, though. GetAsync. So what GetAsync is, I don't know if you guys know too much about the Get service, or if you guys have ever made anything in PHP, if you've ever made anything in Java for a web server, or C# for a web server, or any other web server kind of languages, even Python or something along those lines, you probably have an idea as to what Get and Post are. But for those of you that haven't gone into the world of web development yet, I'll explain. So Get, ROBLOX has a ton of great examples for this. Okay. So a GET request just means it gets the URL, it gets data from it. By the way, guys, join Bobby. It's an awesome group that I've been in since the very beginning. Anyway, back to the point. It gets data from the URL. So everybody recognizes a little bit about URLs, right? There's the HTTP thing, which Google Chrome hides. HTTP, like that. Then there's the www, and then dot, World Wide Web dot, and then there's the name of your domain, so in this case it's Roblox, and then .com, and then / whatever, right? We all get that. What most people don't get is once you get to this question mark. What's the question mark for? Why do we have it? Well, that is where the get part of the request really starts. So in these URLs, you have GID. Okay, that's a key of a get like variable kind of name. Okay, so GID stands for group identification. Okay, so the group identification, and then an equal sign, and then sets it to something. In this case, it's 100,000 or 115,084. Okay, that's what this is saying. So the group identification, GID, is getting set to 115,084. Now, say there's something else you want. You guys have probably seen this as well if you pay attention to URLs at all. After this question mark is where the GET request starts. Then you have the name of the first key, the first value, and then what if you have more keys? Do you put question marks and then key and then value over and over? No. What you do is you put an and sign. Okay, an ampersand. Ampersand, and then you put key equals value. And then you can do that a million times and it won't care. Actually, your browser might care because the browser might not be able to handle that long of a request. Maybe it can't send it that long. That's a little different, but hopefully you never get a request that is that long, okay? But that is a GET request. So you send data, okay? You send data in this form if it's a GET. Now post is a little bit more difficult to show you guys because technically it doesn't really get seen by anybody. You can't see a post request like you can a GET request. Why can't you? Well, the reason why is because a post request is more behind the scenes. Your browser kind of sends it off to the server, but it sends it off hidden, kind of behind the scenes. It slides it through, alright? You don't see it because, well, it doesn't want you to. This is data that really shouldn't be manipulated as easily as a GET request can be manipulated. A GET request can be manipulated very, very easily just by changing what's in your browser URL bar. But a POST request is a little bit slicker, a little bit slyer, and a little bit more difficult to use. So why would you use a GET request over a POST request? If a GET request is easier to manipulate and less secure, why would you use that over a POST request? Well, sometimes a GET request is much better because a GET request is in the URL, meaning, here's another perfect example right from ROBLOX. Okay, so 115,084. That in the URL, this part in the URL, determines, okay, it's going to be this group we're going to show. Now, if I put the URL of my favorite group ever, then you're going to see a different group. Okay, Basor. You're going to, this part, it's great if you want to send the link to people and get them to see the exact same thing you did. Post, however, is much better for saying, say, sending form data. Like you filled out this questionnaire, okay? They don't want to put that in a GET where you can change your answers or something. And especially, what about signing in and logging into something? They don't want people to see your password in the URL bar. That would be terrible, right? It's like, that would be a huge security breach. But they can send it in a post. Nobody really sees that. And it's not like you can just send your link off to people and they log in as you automatically. It works because it's hidden. So there's good and bad to both of them. And they're perfect for different situations. So, what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to use GetAsync, and we're going to use GetAsync. Okay? Oh, wait. GetAsync. No, we're not going to use GetAsync and GetAsync. We're going to use GetAsync, and that's about it for today. Tomorrow we'll use JSON encode, JSON decode, and then we'll also go with URL encode a little bit. No, we'll use URL encode today. Yeah, alright, okay, let's do this. Local URL equals, and we're going to put in, nah, let's use that ROBLOX. Oh wait, we can't use that ROBLOX link. Can we? No. So is there anything I can do on here that gets me a question mark in the URL? Let's try to search. There we go. Okay. Here's what we want. We want everything up to there. Okay. So we have youtube.com user bballer13sntv/search question mark query equals, and here's the fun part where the URL encoding will work. We're going to put in spaces and stuff. So we're going to make the search terms, which, by the way, guys, in this example here, when you put in the search, this is your search terms. This query is your search terms. So look down here, it says test. Look up here, it says test. By the way, I'm pointing my finger at things. You can't see that, so let me use the mouse to say that again. Look down here, it says test. Look up here, it says test. Those are your keywords. That's your search term. So if I change this to be test in YouTube, look at that, it's testing YouTube down here. I don't know why anything comes up under testing YouTube, but whatever. Testing YouTube, testing YouTube. I changed it here, and now if I change it down here, it will change up there. Okay? But we're going to put spaces into this. Look at this. Do you see any spaces up here? No. I'm going to show you guys what happens to spaces in a second. But we're just going to put in who is awesome, like that, okay? Now, that's the URL we're going to ping to, send a GET request to. We're going to put GetAsync. By the way, guys, async is short for asynchronous, and asynchronous just means it runs at the same time. It doesn't stop anything. Everything keeps going, but that goes as well. They split off and they go parallel, and then this one will run back in with the other guy. Okay, so it goes. Okay, I'm terrible at explaining, but get it. Alright, so we're going to do GetAsync, and then we're going to use HTTP UrlEncode URL, and I believe the next one was a boolean, meaning true or false, no cache. What no cache means is caching something in your browser or in the web means it's going to save it. It's going to save it for later so that it doesn't have to request it again. It already knows what it will be, but we don't want that. We're going to put false. Okay, we don't want it to save it. And then all we're going to do is we're going to print saliva. And I forgot we need parentheses for this type of print. Okay, so now when we start up our server, we'll just do play solo. No point in doing it any other way. We'll watch the output down here and have a good time. Alright. Oh. That's why I was thinking we shouldn't do it that way. Alright, you can't test HTTP service in anything other than a start server. I don't know how I forgot that, guys, but I did. So, yes, allow. That's fine. Trust check failed? What? Oh, I see why. The UrlEncode's failish. Failish URL. I've never used UrlEncode like I think I said earlier, but apparently it really fails. Okay, guys. So we're just gonna put it like up to here. There's our URL, and we're going to make this local data equals. Okay, so we're just gonna put URL dot concatenate. No, not comma dot HTTP UrlEncode data. There we go. That'll work. That fails if it does that. Like, it replaced all of the slashes with different stuff. It shouldn't do that, but it did, and we all learned something. We learned UrlEncode is terrible. It's not very smart, apparently. Boom. Do you guys see all this? Look down in the output. Do you see all this body HTML and stuff? That is the HTML page. That is this entire page. Well, technically, hold on, I'll show you guys. I don't think I actually got the URL printed out, but that is what we get back, okay? So now I don't want to do that necessarily. What I want to do now is go back to my script, and I want to print the data after, and I want to print this, okay? So we're going to cut this, and we're going to make URL equal that again. And now we're going to put URL, and we're going to print URL after this. So print URL. I did that extra print just to give us a line in between, okay? So now when I press F7, we're going to start up a server, and we're going to see the URL. And I want to show you guys something. Let's go back here for a second. See how this is who space is space awesome? It's going to change here in a second. Alright, we get HTTP blah 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 all the way up to this equal sign, but here's where I care about stuff. Who is awesome, but there's no spaces. What's there instead? %20. Well, that's great. Why? Well, because URLs, they can't have spaces and stuff. So they change it to this encoding, and %20 is the code for a space. Okay? So Google technically owns YouTube, so that would have been true as well. YouTube is right now getting, if we go back here and we copy this last part, this who is awesome thing, YouTube is getting who is awesome. It's not getting who %20 is %20 awesome. It's getting who is awesome with the spaces, because the web is so smart. It uses this one form of coding %20 being part of the code, and it translates it back and forth. Okay, that's what's really cool about URL codes. Apparently I put Who is Awesome somewhere in this perspective thing. By the way, guys, perspective was like the most fun game I've ever played. You guys should really check out that playlist. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show today. As you guys can see, the GET request returned everything from the page. All the HTML, which if you guys don't know, HTML is what the web is basically drawn out in. Everything on that page was spat back at us. Okay, we got everything. And we got the URL. So hopefully after today, it's been 21 minutes-ish. Probably going to cut some of it out, especially the beginning. That is the beginning of HTTP service. Tomorrow, hopefully, as long as something tragic doesn't happen again, like it did recently. Sorry. I'll post the next video. That one will kind of go over post, but we won't really use the post because there's nowhere I know of to test it at. But because mostly post is used for more secure things that you don't really get to use or anything, so we're going to use the post just to show you guys what it is, and we're going to use JSON encode and JSON decode, and then we'll have learned everything about HTTP service. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys are okay with the long delay. I'm really sorry. I didn't expect that, and it was terrible. It was really terrible. But thank you guys for watching. This has been another video from Code Theorem here on Code Theorem Roblox. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys later.